Welcome, audience. Welcome to the wonderful and talented Isabel Chiara. Before I introduce you all to the lovely Isabel, I want to say, of course, as always, thank you, Father, for the day. Thank you for the opportunity to have this wonderful conversation, to, spread information, to connect people. Um, Someone said the other day, and I'm going to quote it a lot, sharing our stories. You have no idea. This could be someone else's lifeline. This can be something that really and truly it's someone else's survival guide. So I want to say thank you for the opportunity to be able to have this conversation. So happy that I had the opportunity to meet Isabel. And thank you, audience, as always, for being here. Comments, questions, agree, disagree, all the things. Get to us, get to me, get to Isabel, because this is where we all learn to grow and connect. Without spending any more time, Isabel Chiara, guide, mentor, leader, author. I'm going to tell you all, she's written three books. We've got Bad Behavior, which I love.
It's bod behavior.
Oh, BOD
It's talking about the
Behavior.
behavior in our body, what our body does, how our body reacts.
Okay, so BOD Behavior,
But it
love
does
it.
look like bad on the
On the
title.
cover, it looks a little bit like that.
Right.
And then we've got, which I love, Eat Your Words. Y'all, I just can't tell you, these covers are fabulous. This one is a fork with a pasta going around it.
Want me to
And
hold it up?
yeah, please, because I just have received, there you go. And please, if you've got it, hold up your new release, which is Nourish, Beyond Food, Feeding the Path of Personal Power and Joy. I am so excited. I just received my copy. So it's a beautiful book. They're all very cool. And
Thank you. It feels good too, doesn't it?
oh my goodness. So,
Books have a
Isabel,
lot of energy.
thank you for being here. Where, I
Well,
mean, come on. Where in the world? How'd you start writing? Talk to us about, when a little about your story that, all of a sudden you've transformed into this amazing author who helps people to heal and become nourished way beyond our physical beings with food. Tell us a little bit about that journey, Isabel.
well, well, it started like I was in the restaurant business my whole life. I was in a
Uh,
family restaurant business. We have this in common,
yes.
right? We
Well,
discovered that.
you have that in common with my darling husband.
Olivia. But if you're in a family that has
Yes.
restaurant
Uh,
background, it's in every single person in the family is part of whatever goes on in the day-to-day operations. Am I right? Especially if it's a family business.
100%. And especially, and really, I was enmeshed in their lives as friends growing.
Yeah.
That's really where I experienced it. Now we have a nephew, we've talked about that with these three
Mhm.
restaurants in Austin. So let's just say the restaurant business, that's not easy.
It's a lovely business. Now, you know what? The truth is, I would not have had it any other way. It really is an exciting business, especially if you're a person that's has a lot of interests, because there's a lot that goes on in the day to day. But also, you need to digest what goes on in the day to day. And so, how did we do that? How did, food became a focus in my life? How I would digest, I like to say, relationships and the everyday, day to day, like, because it's really, if you're in the restaurant business, you have to be like really quick. You're always putting on out fires. You're dealing with so much of everybody's personalities and
Hmm.
so much energy. And if you don't take a moment
Hmm.
for you and get in your body and pay attention to what's going on, you kind
Hmm.
of lose yourself in that. You're good at what you do because you're taking care of everybody else. And so here we go. And so a lot of things that happen on the day-to-day base on a day-to-day basis became a little uh it didn't become a little. It was an emotional. And so I began to eat a little bit with a lot of emotion to it. And I'm saying that in a nice way.
Mm.
Um, because you go through the whole day without eating at all. And then you take care of all these things. And then at the end, it's like, oh my God, you can't eat enough to feed yourself with
Mm.
what happened during the day, which, I think that everybody has some kind of story like that. Maybe they're caught up in their work, maybe they're caught up in their family. And then we develop some kind of food frenzy on eating, and we don't pay attention to what we eat.
Ah.
Henceforth, I never thought about it like that. But now that I've written this book, I came up with this about 2 years ago. And I said, oh my God, I finally realized, holy crap, I'm feeding myself, but it's almost like it never assimilated into my body.
Mm.
Right. So I think like a lot of people aren't nourished in
Yeah.
life. So it was such a simple, like almost like hit me in the head and I fell out of my bed that was the thing that I need to just wrap my hands around for this third book. Because the truth was, I wrote these books, the first two books, and did a lot of different kind of therapies. I don't like to call them therapies. I call them different modalities because I really have tried every modality to try to transform how I did food. I call it how I did food, but it wasn't really how I did food. It's really how I used food in
Mm.
order to try to get me to feel okay and feel better in my day or make me happy,
Yeah.
because there's really nothing that makes me or makes a lot of people happier than what they're going to have at their next meal. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I knew that um, what we focus on becomes what your reality is all about. And I was battling two kinds of realities all the time, not wanting to eat, and then I couldn't not eat.
Right. You know,
So yeah.
I love that you're saying this because I'm going to back up to one of the things you said that you're taking care of a lot of people. In the
Hmm.
restaurant business, you are literally feeding them on an emotional, an experiential, and a physical level. You know,
Hmm.
these people are coming in and you are creating an experience for them around food.
Yes.
And however, and I have seen the incredible, the wonderful Patrizi family do this since I was a little kid, way before Jeff and I ever really knew each other very well. But the bottom line is, it's like caregivers. If you do not take care of yourself first with intention and thoughtfulness and planning
Hmm.
out, whether it's so you get movement in your day or that you feed yourself first.
Right.
Like you said, there are these days that so you've given, 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 fed, 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 fed.
Hmm.
Literally, you sit down, and whether it's just so you can stop doing what you're
Right. It's
doing.
like a decompression, right?
Yes.
You're like, oh, but by that time it's like 10 o'clock at night, 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
And now you're
And
eating at
then
10 o'clock at night. And we all know what that all
right,
entails.
right.
So this is really, I love, Isabel, that you finally figured out
Hmm.
we're nourishing everyone else, but it was time for people that
Right,
need to nourish themselves to do that. And,
right.
and you have even, and I want to talk a little bit about this. I love this, and I'm going to read something you had written that Nourish is an invitation for women to move beyond diets and external pressures to cultivate deep self connection and reclaim their inner vitality. This is incredible. And I know there's a lot of storytelling, and I believe in education and sharing through storytelling. And I know there's a lot of storytelling in the work that you do and within your books. But my gosh, to reclaim their inner vitality, do you feel better on all levels since you had this?
Every level, because what happens is when you start to, and I'm just saying it like I can't say, hey, here, do this and you'll be nourished.
Right.
It's really the word and the concept of nourishing yourself that kind of activates a part of your own body or own system. And so no matter what, let's just say we do have, we have a binge or we have an event and we didn't like how the event turned out and we didn't like how we were in the event. If we look at that as a nourishing experience, because in fact, it's leading us to maybe approach something differently or
Hmm.
look at something differently. But definitely, it is a way to feel okay with no matter what is happening with us,
Yeah.
some level,
Wow.
because we have categorized everything as good and bad. Everyone's food journey, I just want to say, is the greatest gift that anyone could have.
Mm.
Even I'm emotional just thinking about it
Hmm.
because it's a struggle and we keep making it more of a struggle for us. And if we just, I, like, it, I just want to say one thing. Like, one of the things that have come out of this for me too is the idea that we have cravings in our life. Craving, it could be for anything. It could be craving
Yes.
for more money. It could be craving for specific types of food. All of these cravings are indicators that what is underneath all of that, right? The fact that we want to like crunch or some on something is kind of anger that's giving us a message of
Wow.
what are we holding in our system? What are we holding in our life? What aren't we digesting? Which is what I was talking about before. And if we start to look at these cravings as big signals in our life, that's half the battle.
I love that.
Yeah.
Cravings are indicators.
Hmm.
Yes. It's incredible. Just like our emotions, they're indicators. And so
Yes,
often our emotions create different cravings for different types of food and different amounts of food.
exactly.
Wow. I
And
love that.
it allows us an opportunity to look at what's really happening inside of ourselves.
Hmm. Hmm. This is it's so important because I was on a conversation actually earlier today with a lady. I really want y'all to meet one another, and she was talking about lifestyle, how we have to figure out our lifestyles, food being an enormous part of it,
Hmm.
in order. I love, like you're saying, let's let the food nourish us on all the levels.
Hmm.
And she was saying that's one of the first big steps. And then from there, she said, it's not like we have to be perfect eaters, which is what you have been sharing. And everyone's gift of the food journey is so unique,
Right.
so unique that you've created an app.
I did.
Let's hear about this app because
Uh,
it surrounds your book. It surrounds how you've been transformed. It surrounds nourishment. Tell everybody about this app.
so I created an app that there's 12 and I call them activations. And they are, I call them like a healing activations because it's actually going back to different points in our childhood where we would have formed different beliefs about food or about relationships or about how we are with definitely with other people, but how we are with ourselves. Like I think one of the most important things are when we're feeling nourished is to create really loving boundaries with
Mm-hmm.
ourselves and with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So in this app, I have it would be 12 like milestone parts of relationships, um, or parts of our lives that we have, So it's one of them's, I'll just name a few. It's healing family dynamics. And we go to the point of how we're holding ourselves in our family. But it actually takes you through, line by line because it's a recorded meditation, but it's actually so many people have done it and they've sent me notes and they've called me to say that it has transformed their life to go back to a certain part of their life and to look where something has started or where they got the notion about how they would be in their life.
Mm-hmm.
So I really kind of call nourish like a way to be in life
Mm-hmm.
itself. So I have another activation that's called eating eating for two. Because when we eat, sometimes we're actually eating whatever the conversation we had with another person that we can't let go of. We're eating for them and we're eating for us. So so
Interesting.
that's a really powerful one. But the ones that are really, really amazing are healing family dynamics and healing different other types of relationships and transforming them. Because what happens is we begin to look at, if we look at our inner self and what we are doing in our life, we begin to look at things differently if we accept responsibility. And it's easy to shift, sometimes patterns are just like really ingrained ways of thinking about things. And if we start to open up ways that we think about things and open ourselves up to different ways that we're thinking about things, it shifts. It
Oh,
shifts our whole energetic, our being. It almost releases. I've had situations where um, you could tell from releasing a certain belief that we've held on to our whole life and we were never going to forgive anybody. We're never going to change. It was definitely their fault, blaming somebody else for things in
oh,
our life. Just opening up to another perspective gives us a whole, like almost releases the hold inside of us.
oh, no question. You're speaking the umbrella of everything that my work entails is under the umbrella of accountability.
Hmm.
Because I
Yeah,
lived in that world. Um,
right. But it's not accountability like persecuting yourself for something.
no,
It's
it's an
really more about
accountability to
it.
becoming curious
Yes,
rather than right and wrong. This is the only way. It becomes a way of exploration to either confirm and hold on to the beliefs or to release them and have a new belief. Like you said, it's a new perspective.
right. But
And
sometimes just looking at something differently, we don't have to say, okay, we're not going to be like this now. If we
right.
just feel the shift because we looked at it differently,
Yes.
the whole pattern goes away.
Yes.
Yes, that's what my design was by producing the app. It was to really get into different things that happened in our childhood that we were looking at that was holding on to us, and just kind of releasing the way we look at it and just having a whole new perspective. And it's almost like creates a paradigm shift inside of us. And
Yes.
we don't even think about it again. Like we could have been obsessed with something and we don't even look at it again because it doesn't matter. It doesn't even show. And not like that, it doesn't even show up in our reality anymore, that whatever that behavior was that we were drawing to ourselves, not even an occurrence.
Well, and as you said, looking at something differently allows it to release. So you have just a new freedom there and you have new space there to have a better energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it simplifies
Mm-hmm.
and releases and gives freedom to go ahead and move forward. And however that is with whether it's thinking about it or like you said, you just don't have to think about it anymore because you were able
Right.
to release it.
Right. Well, the real goal of nourishing yourself is to bring joy to your life, right?
Ah.
we get to live in joy. We get to be like, it's so interesting because the more you feel nourished and the more you feel joy is the more that things around you. I remember 2 years ago thinking, oh, nothing really excites me in life. This is boring, that's boring. That would be my mantra. And and so when I thought of the book, I, of course I had to live it. I couldn't write about a book that wasn't real. I had to live this life,
That's right.
and I lived it by using Nourish as my mantra. So when I
Beautiful.
went out to do projects or when I had to do something, not really, I didn't really have to do anything, but if I had to do something, I would say, okay, I'm going to make this nourishing for me. Right? So I'd call it out first, and I would walk into a nourishing environment for myself, a nourishing relationship for myself, a nourishing, like, a whole, even if I walk into my home, I would pick up stuff. I mean, at first it was like a real practice. Like I would pick up something, um, and I would be like, oh, this is nourishing for me. Oh, look at what I got in the mail. Oh, this is a nourishing, letter. Or so everything had to be that until it became that.
That's really wonderful. I love that you called it out, you claimed it. And I know the audience, sometimes we talk about words. People will pick a word for a year or for a week, or in my family,
Mhm.
we do them daily. And nourish, what a fabulous word to claim and to call out. And I love you're going to, before you had an experience, you decided it was going to be nourishing.
Yeah. Otherwise, I was up for grabs.
That's
I
right.
didn't, right? I don't know how I'm gonna, I'm gonna be like, oh, you know what? They weren't nice to me. I would have a big story around it, or they didn't treat me with respect, whatever the thing was, whatever my hang up was. They didn't treat me with respect, and now I get to do it all
Every
differently, right?
experience, regardless of the other person's input,
Yeah,
every experience, you claimed it as nourishing. You chose to decide it would be
right.
nourishing. I think that's brilliant. And I don't know, an audience, you'll have to let me know if we've used this word before, but I swear, I don't think nourish has been the topic of conversation until now, Isabel. And I so appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, it's not really a linear, also, it's not really a linear path,
Oh,
so you go, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, but if you own your path, if you own that you're on a nourishing path, then you're always on it. And you're not
oh,
at the beginning of it, you're not at the end of it, you're just on it. And you're not like, okay, now I'm here.
yeah, yeah.
It's like a bean. It's like you feel joy. You feel nourished. You know what I mean? Everything nourishes you, no matter what anybody says. And I think also what happens is people show up in your life that are amazing and nourishing to you, right? They love you, they accept you, it's wonderful who shows up in your life. It's like a whole like new opening in, in the path that you're on.
Well, in different conversation, but such truth in that we are literally, you changed your entire energy to this nourishing energy. So
Mm.
you attracted these new people into your life.
Mm. And I think like if people leave now I think it's happening a lot. I feel like people are leaving people's lives. They're like, oh, I can't believe it. She just dropped off the face of the earth. I haven't heard from her. She doesn't call me back. It's kind of like a thank you. We don't need to know why.
No,
We don't need it because that like kind of holds
no.
us back too. We don't have to know why somebody, is not calling us back or just left,
Oh
isn't
my God.
responding to us. It's kind of like, oh, wow. Uh,
It's
it's
that
an
precious.
opening for somebody else.
That's right. And as wonderful Mel Robbins says, let them.
Yeah.
We do not need to overthink it. We do not need to analyze it.
Hmm.
We need to move forward, deciding that our next step, our next conversation, this new space that's created is going to be nourishing,
Yes.
exactly to where you have chosen to go. And what
Hmm.
you're sharing with me and with the audience is you made that decision And it has happened on all levels of your life.
Yes, for
Very
sure,
cool.
for
I
sure.
love this. Okay, I
It
want to go.
almost feels like a movement, a movement that everybody around you, I know, like right now, everybody around you is going to get a taste of that nourishment, right? You believe I'm nourishing you, but they're going to understand. They're going to it's going to be a household word soon.
Oh, I love it so much. Trust me, I'm going to use it as one of my words this week.
Of
And
course.
what I'm wondering is, and because our time is coming to a close, what would you like to share? Of course, the audience will get the information about your books and how ways to contact you and follow you and the information on the app and all the things. What would you like to leave the audience with today? Because they're pretty cool. They'll send us comments and all the things. What do you want to leave with them today?
I'd like to, for everybody here that just own that you're in a nourishing space at all times. And what will happen is your inner dialogue will be transformed and you'll start to get more compassionate toward yourself. And things that the dialogue you used to have with yourself, but probably won't work anymore. You'll see how fast that you start to shift and you'll be living life with your eyes wide open and feeling so grateful for your life, for the life you have, for every little aspect of your life. It's
Mm.
just something that's kind of happens from the inside out. It's not like something you could find outside of yourself. It becomes part of you and it becomes part of how you are in the world. And my God, as I'm sitting here, like people will notice it right away, the shift inside of you.
I love this, Isabel. Okay, so audience, first of all, Isabel, thank you so much.
Oh my God, I would love meeting you. You're amazing.
Oh, this has been
You.
such a, I mean, really such a gift to have our conversations. And trust me, I'm going to send you little notes about Nourish. And audience, so okay, let's all practice that what we're going to encounter next, regardless of how it goes, let's
Mm.
choose to allow it to nourish us on some level. And let's all bring that word into whether it's a day or a week or a year and all the things. And let's nourish. And then I
Let
think,
that be your guiding light.
oh, yes, that every experience is a nourishing
Mm.
one. And I love this so much. You know what? Thank you again, Isabel. Audience, always thank you, thank you, thank you. And most importantly, thank you, Father. Hook 'em.